Good morning to one and all. In today's lecture, we'll discuss about noise in FM receiver. So basically, mathematically, your noise in FM receiver is given by the equation that is St is equals to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus 2 pi KF integrate 0 to T m tau d tau, where AC is your carrier amplitude, FC is your carrier frequency, and your integrating m tau d tau is the frequency sensitivity of the modulator, that is your 2 pi kf, and m tau is your message signal. Now here we have given that if we transmit the bandwidth, transmission bandwidth is equals to b suffix t at the carrier frequency, that is plus minus fc, we will consider only the positive side. So we have represented the positive side of frequency, carrier frequency, that is from fc minus bt by 2 to fc plus bt by 2. Now, in order to determine the noise in FM receiver, we consider pre-detection SNR input. So here we consider a typical FM receiver. Here we have an input signal, that is ST, that is passed through your WD, that is your front end receiver noise. And the power spectral density of white noise is equals to N0 by 2. It is passed through your band pass filter. After passing through band pass filter, we get the output, that is xt is equals to st plus nt. So now for the after passing through the noise through your band pass filter, for detection process we consider two new terms, that is your limiter and discriminator. After passing through your BPF, your spatial type, we require a spatial type of electronic circuit, that is called as your limiter or discriminator. After passing through limiter and discriminator, we get the output, that is VT, and after that we get baseband LPF, that is your baseband low pass filter. Now your FM equation, we know that ST is equals to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus 2 pi kf integrating 0 to t m tau d tau, where AC is your amplitude of carrier, that is constant. Now here, when the baseband LPF, that is suitable for your passing low frequencies or message signal. Now the MT is embedded in the variation of instantaneous frequency of the carrier. Now here we can see when your noise or interference during the transmission via channel, there is an interference of your noise. So there is a possibility of variation in your carrier amplitudes. So it is required to pass through a limiter, and after then it is passed through a clipped FM wave, where the clipping is done of the modulated wave, and it results in a rectangular wave. Now after this, we can see we have discriminator. Your discriminator consists of two. First is your slope network, or we can say differentiator, and second one is your envelope detector. So your slope network or differentiator, in this it is a frequency response that is purely imaginary. So the frequency varies linearly with the frequency. Now this linear frequency produces a hybrid modulated wave for both amplitude and frequency that varies in according with your message signal, that is MT. Now in envelope detector, it recovers the amplitude variation that is produced by your MT. After then passing through your baseband LPF, here your VT, that is the input, and we get the output, that is YT. So it has sufficient bandwidth, and when we pass it through the highest frequency component of your message signal, so it removes out your bend component of noise and keeps the effect of output noise minimum. Now after this, we'll see the pre-detection SNR, that is SNR input is equals to your carrier power upon noise power. So we know that the carrier power, that is AC square upon 2 upon your noise power, that is N0 BT, that is equals to your AC square twice of N0 BT. Now coming on, this was your pre-detection. Now coming on to your post-detection SNR, that is your signal to noise ratio output. Here when we pass through a band pass filter, we get the output, that is xt is equals to st plus nt, where we know that nt is a narrowband noise. Nt can be represented in form of your in phase component as well as your quadrature components. So your NT is equals to NIT cos 2 pi FCT minus SQT sin 2 pi FCT. Now if we represent this equation in the polar form, then NT is equals to RT cos 2 pi FCT plus phi NT, where RT is your envelope and your phi NT is the phase. Now we know that RT is equals to under root of your Ni square T plus N square QT, and your phi T, that is equals to 10 inverse of NQT and NIT. Now we know that the output of the band pass filter, that is XT, is equals to ST plus NT, when ST is equals to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus your phi NT. So in place of your 2 pi kf integrate 0 to t m tau d tau, we can place phi t, that is the phasor angle. Then we get NT is equals to, and your NT is equals to RT cos 2 pi FCT plus your phi NT. So in place of your 2 pi kf integrate m tau d tau, we can put phi NT. Now after putting this equation, we can get the output, that is XT is equals to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus phi t, that is the ST we have calculated, plus your RT cos 2 pi FCT plus your phi and t. Now here this is the equation of XT we have represented as a phasor diagram. Now here the first term represents, the first term, that is your AC with an angle, represents phi t, and the second term, it contains noise that is additive in nature, that is your RT. So RT make an angle, that is your phi and t. Now here we have taken a reference, this is your reference. After then we have passed an amplitude, that is your constant amplitude, that is AC. Now using the phasor diagram, we can represent the phasor and your quadrature component. Now here your AC and RT is the result, AC and RT is the resultant, this is your RT, that is your noise. Here the AC and RT is the resultant of XT, so this is your resultant of XT, that makes an angle with respect to your reference. So this is the angle. Now if we extend AC, if we extend this AC and make an angle, that is your phi t, so we can calculate this angle will be your phi and t minus phi t, because this angle is your phi and t, and your this remaining angle will be phi and t minus phi t. After then we can extend this equation, that is your AC, this is your AC and this is your resultant XT. Here we have RT, so we can write this is equals to your, now if we draw an perpendicular from the tip of RT, so if we draw a perpendicular from the tip of RT on the extended vector XT, so by using this right angle triangle we can solve it. So we know that the angle is WNT with hypotenuse RT, so RT is your hypotenuse, so we get the here, that is RT sin phi NT minus phi t, this is your quadrature component, while your in phase component will be RT cos phi NT minus phi t. So we can write it, your phi t, theta t minus phi t will be equals to your tan inverse of your RT sin phi NT minus phi t upon your AC plus RT cos phi NT minus phi t, that is theta is equals to your tan inverse perpendicular upon base. So by using tan inverse perpendicular upon base, we can write it over here. Now for the sake of simplicity, if we assume that your AC is very large, that is denominator term is, that is your denominator term, this is very large, so we can say that the amplitude of your unmodulated carrier, that is your carrier upon noise, is greater than 1. So if this term is very large, we can say that your RT sin phi NT minus phi t will be very small, that is the fraction. So here we can see the theta, that is nearly equals to your phi t plus RT sin phi NT minus phi t upon AC. Now this term, that is your RT sin phi NT minus phi t, this is your NQT, that is the noise quadrature component. So we can write that phi t plus NQT upon AC. and we know that this phi t, that is the phasor angle, that is 2 pi kf integrate 0 to t m tau d tau. Now in integrator, the first component is your pure differentiator. Now if we come to the differentiator, in the first term there is both your integration as well as your differentiation. Yeah, so we were discussing discriminator. So in discriminator, we assume this is your pure differentiator, where we have the output, that is Vt. So your Vt is equals to 1 upon 2 pi d theta t upon dt with range 0 to 2 pi. Now here that Vt is equals to your 1 upon 2 pi d by dt 2 pi kf integrating m tau d tau plus rt upon ac sin phi nt minus phi t. Now here the first term, in the first term there is both your integration as well as your differentiation with respect to time. Also your 2 pi will get cancelled, so we get your kf mt. Also in the second term, if you see, there is a derivative noise component, that is 1 upon 2 pi ac. So that is your constant, so we can keep it outside as derivative of noise term, and we get ndt. So this is equals to your ndt. So we get the output at Vt is equals to your kf mt plus your ndt. Now coming on to the derivative noise, here we can see the derivative noise, that is ndt is equals to 1 upon 2 pi ac d by dt of your nqt. We know that nqt is equals to rt sin phi nt minus phi t. So we, in place of nqt, we can put rt sin phi nt minus phi t. So from here we get the output Vt, that is your kf mt plus your ndt, where ndt is your additive noise. Now coming on to the post detection SNR. Here we can see your Vt, that is the output of your differentiator, is equals to your kf mt plus your ndt. Here the average signal power is kf square into p, and the average noise power, that is ndt, is equals to 1 upon 2 pi ac d by t into nqt. Now coming on to the figure, if we pass it this baseband LPF, now here we can see we have used a frequency domain. So we represented in form of your frequency domain. So this is your input, that is nqt. It is passed through a frequency domain. So it is 1 upon 2 pi ac d by t, and we get the output ndt. When we'll do the Fourier transform of 1 upon 2 pi ac d by t, then we get j 2 pi f upon 2 pi fc. Here 2 pi get cancelled, and we get the output, that is jf ac into capital G into f. Now here we can see the power spectral density in quadrature noise component, that is nqt is equals to your snqt, and the power spectral density at the output of ndt is equals to your snd into f. Now in frequency domain, output of the ideal differentiator will be, this is your snq, it is passed through your jf ac, that is g capital F, and here it is the output, that is your snd into f. So your sndf will be equals to your mod of gf square into your snf. So from here your sndf will be equals to f square upon ac into your snq. Now here we can see the power spectral density in quadrature component is identical to the low pass characteristics, with having n naught between minus bt by 2 to plus bt by 2, where n naught is your average noise power per unit bandwidth. Now here if we see, we get SND, that is your f square upon ac square n naught when your f ranges between less than equals to bt by 2 and 0 elsewhere. Now if we put frequency component as 0 when your f equals to 0, this is similar to your ideal low pass characteristic. So when it will be 0, so your graph will be represented in this form, where it ranges between your minus bt by 2 to bt by 2. Now coming on, when we have seen, we have passed through discriminator, we get the output Vt and SNDF. After passing through baseband filter, we'll get the output that is Yt. Now here for the wideband FM, we know that your W is less than Bt by 2, where Bt is your transmission bandwidth. Now after passing through your baseband LPF, it get converted into your band limited power spectral density, and output having bandwidth of your W. So the bandwidth is W. So it ranges between -W to W. So from here we get SNDF, that is F square AC square N naught, where your F ranges to less than equals to Bt by 2. So we can say your S N naught F is equals to F square upon AC square N naught, where mod F is less than W or 0 elsewhere. From here we can calculate the average power of output noise. So the average power of output noise will be equals to your integration -W to W S N naught F into df, which is equals to your N naught upon AC square integrating -W to W F square df, taking N naught AC square and putting the limit. We can put the limit, we get F cube upon 3 -W to W, and we get the output that is S N naught F average will be equals to your twice N naught W cube upon 3 AC square. Now we know that the post detection SNR of the output, that is Vt is equals to KFMT plus NDT, where your KFMT is the average signal power and your NDT is the average noise power, that is noise power per unit bandwidth. Now here we can see the SNR FM will be equals to your KF square P upon twice N naught W cube upon thrice of AC square. From here we get that is 3 AC square KF square into P upon 2 N naught W into Q. Now it is a non-linear dependence on both frequency and sensitivity factor, that is KF, and your message bandwidth W. After this we will be calculating our figure of merit. So figure of merit, that is equals to your SNR output upon your SNR reference. SNR reference, we know that it is AC square upon 2 upon N naught W, and we know that SNR FM output is equals to your KF square into P upon twice of N naught W cube upon 3 AC square. So from here we can calculate the figure of merit, which is equals to, after simplification we'll get it is equals to your thrice of KF square P upon W square. Now here we will be introducing a new term, that is D, that is your deviation ratio. So in place of your D, that is equals to your KF upon W under root P, we can put D. So from here your figure of merit will be equals to thrice of deviation ratio. So in FM transmission, your bandwidth is given by Carson's rule. We have already studied the Carson's rules. From here we can see that your BT is equals to twice of delta F plus FM, where your deviation ratio is equals to the frequency deviation upon your message bandwidth. From here we know that D is equals to your delta F upon W, because your delta F is your frequency deviation. So delta F is equals to D into W. Now putting BT is equals to twice of dW plus W. So in place of D we can put KF into under root P. So it will be BT will be equals to twice of KF under root P plus W. Now if we talk in the case of wideband FM, in wideband FM we know that bandwidth is equals to twice of W. So we can put bandwidth is equals to twice of KF into under root P. So BT by 2, that is half, will be nearly equals to your KF under root P. From here we can see that the figure of merit is equals to thrice of KF square into P upon W square. From here we will get the figure of merit, that is equals to your 3 upon 4. We can put the value in place of your KF under root P, it will be your BT square upon 4. So from here we will get figure of merit, that is 3 by 4 BT upon W whole square. Now from here we concluded that any increase in transmission bandwidth, there is corresponding increase in your signal to noise ratio with respect to your signal to noise ratio, which further improve your noise performance. So this was all about your FM receiver. In next lecture we will be discussing emphasis and de-emphasis. Thank you.